5 proven ways to build unbreakable resilience. She stood at the edge of the cliff, not literally, but emotionally. Everything she had worked for was gone in a single moment. Her business had collapsed like a house of cards, her relationship had crumbled under the pressure, and her health was deteriorating from months of relentless stress. The weight of failure pressed down on her shoulders like an invisible mountain. Yet somehow, deep within her soul, she found the courage to take one more step forward. What made the difference between surrendering to despair and rising stronger than ever before? The answer lies in something we all possess but few truly understand: unbreakable resilience. This isn't about being tough all the time or pretending everything is perfectly fine when your world is falling apart. Real resilience, the kind that transforms ordinary people into extraordinary survivors, is about bouncing back from life's most devastating hits and emerging not just intact, but stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. Sarah's journey into the depths of human strength began on what seemed like an ordinary rainy Tuesday morning. The gray clouds hanging low in the sky seemed to mirror the storm that was about to hit her life. Her phone rang with the kind of news that changes everything in an instant. The company she had poured her heart, soul, and every waking hour into for 8 long years was bankrupt. The lawyers were cold and clinical in their delivery. The numbers were final. Within a matter of hours, her entire world had crumbled like ancient ruins. But this wasn't the end of Sarah's story. This was just the beginning of her discovering the incredible power of inner strength that had been sleeping inside her all along. The human spirit possesses an absolutely incredible capacity to heal from trauma, adapt to impossible circumstances, and grow through the most challenging adversity imaginable. Some people appear naturally resilient from birth, weathering every storm with apparent ease, while others seem to struggle deeply with even the smallest setbacks and disappointments. The fundamental difference isn't luck, genetics, or some mysterious gift from the universe. The difference lies in understanding and consistently applying specific, proven strategies that completely transform how we respond to life's inevitable challenges. Mental toughness isn't something that appears overnight like magic. It's forged slowly and deliberately through consistent practice, deep self-awareness, and cultivating the right mindset day after day. Every single obstacle that appears in your path becomes a precious opportunity to strengthen your psychological muscles. Every devastating setback becomes the perfect setup for an even more spectacular comeback. This isn't just positive thinking or wishful hoping. This is the reality of how resilient people operate in the world. Think carefully about the strongest, most unbreakable people you know personally. The ones who seem to handle everything life throws at them with grace and determination. They didn't become that way by carefully avoiding difficulties or hiding from challenges. They developed their unbreakable resilience by facing problems head-on with courage and learning valuable lessons from each painful experience. Their inspiring stories almost always begin with moments of profound struggle, devastating loss, or seemingly impossible circumstances. What if you could develop that exact same level of inner strength and mental fortitude? What if setbacks could no longer break your spirit or derail your dreams, but instead made you more determined, more focused, and more unstoppable than ever? The 5 scientifically proven methods you're about to discover have helped thousands upon thousands of people completely transform their relationship with adversity, failure, and challenge. These aren't just theoretical concepts pulled from dusty psychology textbooks or feel-good motivational platitudes that sound nice but don't work in reality. They're practical, science-backed strategies that produce real results in real life during real crises. Each method builds systematically upon the others, creating an unshakable foundation of mental toughness that absolutely nothing can destroy. Your personal journey to unbreakable resilience begins with understanding a fundamental truth that most people never grasp. Every single challenge that enters your life is actually a perfectly disguised gift from the universe. It's a precious opportunity to prove to yourself just how incredibly strong, capable, and resilient you really are. But raw strength without proper strategy is nothing more than stubborn resistance. You need the right tools, the right approach, and the right mindset to transform pain into power. The first method might genuinely surprise you because it goes against absolutely everything our achievement-obsessed culture teaches us about handling difficult emotions and painful experiences. Instead of pushing through pain with gritted teeth and forced positivity, this revolutionary approach teaches us to embrace discomfort as our greatest teacher and most valuable guide. Sarah learned this life-changing lesson through her own painful experience. When her beloved business collapsed and her dreams seemed shattered beyond repair, she spent several exhausting weeks desperately trying to stay positive and pretend everything was manageable. She wore a fake smile like armor and told everyone she was fine when she was actually drowning in grief, disappointment, and crushing fear about her future. The more Sarah fought against her authentic feelings of profound grief and devastating disappointment, the more emotionally and physically exhausted she became. Her energy was completely drained from the constant internal battle. Then something miraculous shifted in her understanding, and everything changed. She finally stopped running away from the pain and started listening carefully to what it was desperately trying to teach her. This wasn't about wallowing endlessly in self-pity or becoming a victim of circumstances. It was about courageously acknowledging that her feelings were completely valid and contained incredibly valuable information about what truly mattered most to her heart. The first proven way to build unbreakable resilience is learning to sit peacefully with discomfort without immediately trying to fix it, escape from it, or make it disappear. This approach might sound completely counterintuitive to everything you've been taught, but extensive research consistently shows that people who can tolerate and process difficult emotions recover significantly faster from major setbacks and traumatic experiences. When Sarah finally stopped exhausting herself by fighting against her natural emotional responses, something truly remarkable and transformative happened in her life. The overwhelming anxiety that had been consuming her thoughts began to naturally settle and calm down. The crushing disappointment that felt like it might destroy her slowly transformed into crystal clear clarity about what she authentically wanted from her career and life. The paralyzing fear of complete failure became powerful fuel for creating an entirely new beginning. This healing process isn't about becoming emotionally numb to life's inevitable pain and disappointment. It's about developing sophisticated emotional intelligence and deeply understanding that all feelings are temporary visitors in your consciousness, not permanent residents that define who you are. They arrive to deliver an important message about your needs, values, and circumstances, and once you truly receive and understand that message, they naturally move on without resistance. Have you ever noticed how desperately trying not to think about something specific makes it completely consume your thoughts even more intensely? The exact same psychological principle applies to difficult and uncomfortable emotions. The more we resist them with all our strength, the more powerful and persistent they become in our experience. True acceptance doesn't mean giving up on positive change or improvement. It means working intelligently with reality as it actually exists instead of exhausting yourself fighting against it. Practical application of this principle starts with developing simple moment-to-moment awareness of your internal experience. When facing any challenging situation that triggers emotional discomfort, pause deliberately and ask yourself with genuine curiosity, what exactly am I feeling right now in this moment? Name the specific emotion without harsh judgment or criticism. Is it fear about the future, anger about unfairness, sadness about loss, or disappointment about unmet expectations? Each distinct emotion carries specific and valuable information about your situation. Fear often signals clearly that something genuinely important and meaningful is at stake in your life. Anger might indicate that a personal boundary has been crossed or violated. Sadness frequently means you're naturally processing significant loss or major life changes. Disappointment usually reflects the painful gap between your sincere expectations and current reality. Once you successfully identify the primary emotion you're experiencing, practice sitting calmly with it for exactly 60 seconds without trying to change, fix, or eliminate it. Breathe slowly and deeply while gently reminding yourself that this particular feeling is completely temporary and will pass naturally. You are not your emotions. You are the wise observer of your emotional experiences, and this gives you tremendous power and freedom. The second scientifically proven method for building unbreakable resilience involves completely reframing your relationship with failure and setbacks. Most people unconsciously see failure as the complete opposite of success. But genuinely resilient individuals understand a profoundly different and liberating truth. Failure is simply success in progress, an essential part of the learning and growth process. Every single failure contains precious seeds of future success and achievement, but only if you're genuinely willing to examine them carefully and extract the valuable lessons they contain. This requires making a fundamental shift from a victim mindset that asks, "Why is this happening to me?" to an empowered learner mindset that asks, "What can this challenging experience teach me about myself, my approach, and my goals?" Sarah's devastating business failure taught her absolutely invaluable lessons about proper cash flow management, the critical importance of diversifying revenue streams across multiple sources, and the essential need for building strong, reliable partnerships with trustworthy people. These hard-earned lessons became the solid foundation for her next entrepreneurial venture, which succeeded spectacularly precisely because she had learned from her previous painful mistakes and applied that wisdom. Genuinely resilient people don't waste energy trying to avoid failure at all costs. Instead, they intelligently redefine what failure means and how it serves their growth. They understand through experience that every truly successful person has accumulated an entire graveyard of failures, mistakes, and setbacks behind their achievements. The crucial difference is that they consistently used each failure as a valuable stepping stone toward their goals, rather than allowing it to become a permanent stopping point. Start immediately keeping a dedicated failure journal, where you record your setbacks and extract wisdom from them. Whenever something doesn't go according to your plans or expectations, take time to write down at least 3 specific things you learned from that experience. This simple but powerful practice systematically rewires your brain to automatically look for opportunity and growth in every setback you encounter. The third proven method focuses on strategically building your support network before you desperately need it during a crisis. Isolation amplifies every problem and makes challenges feel much more overwhelming and impossible than they actually are, while meaningful connection provides perspective, resources, encouragement, and practical help during difficult times. Resilient people understand deeply that asking for help when you need it isn't a sign of weakness or personal failure. It's actually a demonstration of intelligence, self-awareness, and emotional maturity. They intentionally cultivate strong, meaningful relationships during good times, so they have genuine support readily available during the inevitable difficult times. They also consistently offer help, encouragement, and support to others in their network, creating a robust system of mutual care and assistance. Think honestly about your current support system and the people you could realistically count on. Who would you feel comfortable calling during a genuine crisis or emergency? Who celebrates your victories and successes with authentic joy and enthusiasm? Who offers you honest, constructive feedback when you need objective perspective on important decisions? If your list feels disappointingly short, it's definitely time to invest serious energy in building stronger, more meaningful connections with others. The fourth scientifically proven way to develop unbreakable resilience is mastering the incredibly powerful art of mental rehearsal and visualization. Professional athletes regularly use detailed visualization techniques to dramatically improve their performance, and you can use these exact same techniques to prepare your mind for handling various challenges and difficulties with greater confidence and skill. Mental rehearsal isn't about pessimistically expecting the worst possible outcomes or dwelling on negative possibilities. It's about building genuine confidence and competence through systematic mental preparation and practice. When you've mentally rehearsed handling difficult situations successfully, your actual response becomes significantly more calm, strategic, and effective when those situations arise in reality. Sarah began dedicating time each day to vividly visualizing herself successfully navigating various business challenges that might arise. She imagined herself dealing calmly with difficult and demanding clients, managing temporary cash flow problems with intelligence and creativity, and making tough but necessary decisions with confidence and wisdom. This consistent mental practice noticeably reduced her anxiety about potential problems and significantly improved her actual performance when these challenging situations arose in her business. Spend at least 10 focused minutes each day, visualizing yourself handling various challenges with remarkable grace, wisdom, and effectiveness. See yourself in your mind's eye staying completely calm under intense pressure, making excellent decisions even when information is incomplete, and bouncing back quickly and strongly from temporary setbacks. This regular practice builds essential mental pathways and response patterns that automatically serve you during actual difficulties. The fifth and final method is perhaps the most transformative and powerful of all: developing a compelling personal mission and purpose that's significantly bigger than your individual problems and challenges. When your life purpose is crystal clear and genuinely compelling, temporary setbacks and difficulties simply cannot derail your long-term vision and commitment. Resilient people aren't magically immune to pain, disappointment, or struggle, but they possess something that makes enduring that pain feel worthwhile and meaningful. They're deeply connected to a mission, cause, or purpose that gives profound meaning to their struggles and sacrifices. This doesn't have to be grandiose or world-changing. It could be as simple and beautiful as being an excellent parent to your children, or making a positive difference in your local community. What matters to you more than your own personal comfort and convenience? What would you willingly endure significant hardship to achieve, protect, or contribute to? When you have a clear, honest answer to these fundamental questions, you've discovered your personal source of unbreakable resilience. Sarah's new business venture wasn't just about making money or achieving financial success. It was about helping other aspiring entrepreneurs avoid the costly mistakes she had made and achieve their dreams more efficiently. This larger sense of purpose gave her the strength and motivation to persist courageously through the inevitable challenges of starting over. Your resilience grows exponentially stronger when it's rooted in something meaningful beyond yourself and your immediate needs. Self-centered motivation has natural limits, but purpose-driven resilience is virtually unlimited in its power. Building unbreakable resilience isn't about becoming invincible or immune to life's challenges. It's about becoming anti-fragile, actually growing stronger through stress rather than just surviving it. Each challenge becomes a precious opportunity to prove your strength to yourself and expand your capabilities. What challenge are you facing right now that could become your greatest teacher and source of growth? How might you apply these 5 proven methods to completely transform your approach to adversity? Your journey to unbreakable resilience begins with the very next choice you make.